Hello students, today I will discuss the topic public finance, legislative control over public finance. Okay, very important topics. It is a transition topics. It is also figured in polity and constitution and also certain part of economy. Okay, you see, the topics is legislative control over public finance. First important aspect is what is the meaning of public finance? Public finance, okay. So actually, the money of the citizen of India in the hand of the government is referred to as public finance. Okay, right? What is the meaning of public finance? It is clear, na? Actually, the money of the citizen of India in the hand of the government is referred to as public finance. Okay. Actually, you see, what is the position of this public finance? So whatever money the government gets, okay, there are several particular sources of money: tax revenue, non-tax revenue. It is clear, na? Right? Capital receipt, revenue receipt, getting well, na? So as far as the question of public finance is concerned, since it is public money, that's why it is essential to hold control over hold control and over this fund by the public. Okay. Since India is democratic country, we adopted indirect democratic system. So that's why our representatives sit in the parliament. Okay. And hence parliament exercise effective control over public finance. Okay. And you see, there are three ways to put public finance in the parliament. First is in the form of economic survey, okay. Second is in the form of railway budget, and third is in the form of annual financial statement, also known as general budget. Getting well now? There are three ways to represent the public finance in the parliament. One is referred to as economic survey, second is railway budget, and third one is annual financial statement, which is also referred to as general budget. Okay, you should know one important aspect that previously railway was under private sector. In 1921, Ackworth Committee was set up. This committee given several important recommendations, but two recommendations are very important. First recommendation of Ackworth Committee was nationalization of railway. Railway was conducted on the recommendation. Ackworth Committee recommended that railway should be nationalized. Okay, government accepted this recommendation and hence railway was nationalized. Okay, now. Second important recommendation of Ackworth Committee was separation of railway budget with that of the general budget. That's why separation of railway and general budget. Getting well now? So that's why since 1924, railway and general budget were separated, and this continued up to 2017. Again, particularly in 2017, railway and general budget were merged to form a single budget. Getting well now, right? So actually, you see, different committees are set up from time to time to get expert advice. Now, as far as the question of nationalization of railway is concerned, so nationalization of railway was conducted on the recommendation of Ackworth Committee. Nationalization of roadways was conducted on the recommendation of Masani Committee. Okay, and nationalization of airways, that is civil aviation, was conducted on the basis of recommendation of Rajyadhyaksha Committee. These three committees are very important because because on their recommendation, the means of transport and communication was nationalized. Getting well now? As far as the question of it is clear in our constitution, the term the Article 112 contain annual financial statement. Okay, annual financial statement. The term budget is not given in the constitution. Getting well now, right? Actually, for annual financial statement, we use the term budget. Actually, you see, the term budget was derived from the term budget, means leather bag. Okay. Actually, since Walpole was finance minister, who was carrying financial document in the leather bag. Okay, when public put pressure on him, he opened the leather bag to clarify his stand, and hence the term he opened his budget became popular, and from this the term budget was derived. It is clear now? So actually I said that there are three ways to represent the financial statement, that is particularly public finance in the parliament. It is clear now? One is economic survey, second is railway budget, and third one is annual financial statement. Okay, this was in effect after since independence, you can say now. But actually in 2017, this railway budget and general budget were merged to form a single integrated budget. Getting well now? As far as the question of economic survey is concerned, what is the content of economic survey? You see, economic survey presents the actual economic condition of the country. Okay, it reveals the success and failure, concern and future prospect of economy of the country. Okay, and economic survey is prepared by Chief Economic Advisor to the Government of India. It is clear na? Chief Economic Advisor to the Government of India prepare particularly economic survey, and economic survey actually, suppose you are preparing budget for 2001 to 2002. Okay, for this financial year na budget is being prepared, right? So in the same year particularly economic survey will be for the period 2000 to 2001. It is clear now? So it indicates the actual economic scenario of the country na, right? है ना? Actually it indicates the success, it indicates the failure, concern and future prospect of Indian economy. Getting well now? So actually you see, this is what is the condition, why it is relevant. It is clear now? And second is railway budget. Now it is merged now. Okay. So actually you see, CSO is the organization which furnish essential data for formulation of economic survey as well as particularly budget formulation. CSO, Central Statistical Organization. Okay, when it is under Ministry of Statistics and Plan Implementation. Getting well now? It furnishes data for economic survey and also for the formulation of budget. Getting well now? Now see, as far as the question of budget is concerned, okay, so I said that it is the part of the budget, is the part of public finance over legislative control over public finance now. Okay, so whatever money the government holds, right, if this money are kept in different type of fund. One is, you see, we have different type of fund in India. One is consolidated fund of India. Okay, first one is consolidated fund of India. Getting well now? Second is contingency fund of India. Third one is public account fund of India. It is clear na? Actually you see, this is at the central level, but also in every state there is a consolidated fund of a state, there is a contingency fund of a state, there is public account fund of the state. It is clear na? Beside this fund there is a national contingency calamity fund. Okay, again actually environmental protection fund is also in India. Okay, also prime minister relief fund is also in India. Okay, and beside this, when National Disaster Management Act 2005 was passed, it made the provision for National Disaster Response Fund. It is clear na? Right? Actually there is a National Disaster Response Fund at the central level, and also there is a state disaster response fund at the state level. Getting well now? So actually you see, the provision for Consolidated Fund of India is given under Article 266 266 of the Constitution. Getting well now? 266 of the Constitution, right? Actually, 266 of the Constitution also contain provision about public account fund. Okay, and Article 267 contain the provision of contingency fund of India. It is clear now. I said that public expenditure, public finance is concerned. So what is the main concern? Main point of concern here, main point of explanation which is required here is what is the source of public money? Okay, public finance. How the government incur expenditure of the public finance, whether economy is maintained or not, right? What is the objective of the utilization or expenditure of the public finance? Actually, the objective is to ensure welfare of the citizen of India. It is clear now? So actually, Consolidated Fund of India is the largest fund in the hand of the government. It is clear now? It is like a sink. Whatever money the government receives, whether tax revenue or non-tax revenue, is directly drained in the Consolidated Fund of India. It is clear now? It is largest fund. It is compared as the sink because it can maintain enormous or unlimited amount of money. Getting well now? Actually, you see there are two articles. Article 265 and 266. Article 266 of the Constitution is very relevant. Okay. Actually, provision of Consolidated Fund of India is itself found in Article 266 of the Constitution. But actually, another component of this article is actually Article 265 states that no tax can be levied without appropriate legislative sanction. Getting well now? Again repeating the fact, according to Article 265, no tax can be imposed without appropriate legislative sanction. Legislative sanction will be in the form of Finance Act or Taxation Act. It is clear now? An act is formulated by the legislature now. It indirectly refers that executive has no right to impose new tax. It is clear now? If executive cannot impose taxes, who can impose taxes? It is the legislature only, as given under Article 265 of the Constitution. Though actually one important point here is, though executive can impose tax, but it will of temporary nature for individual purpose, certain specified purpose, but it will not be of permanent nature. Okay. So Article 265 clarified that any tax can be imposed, any tax can be imposed only by the appropriate legislative sanction, and for imposition of Taxation Act is passed, which is also referred to as Finance Act, and it is the part of budget. Getting well now? This is important aspect. Second aspect is Article 266. Article 266 said that not even a single farthing can be expended out of Consolidated Fund of India without appropriate legislative sanction. Getting well now? Right? As per Article 266 of the Constitution, not even a single pice can be expended out of Consolidated Fund of India without appropriate legislative sanction. Okay? What is appropriate legislative sanction? So appropriate legislative sanction is in the form of Appropriation Act. Appropriation Act. Getting well now? Appropriation Act, जिसको हिंदी में विनियोग विधेयक भी कहते हैं, तो Appropriation Act is the act of the Parliament, is the act through which the legislature authorizes the executive to withdraw money out of Consolidated Fund of India. Okay? Executive cannot withdraw money, cannot utilize even a single farthing of money out of Consolidated Fund of India without appropriate legislative sanction. Okay? Actually, because you see why I am using the term executive, because executive is the main expending agency now. Suppose road is to be constructed, so it will be by PWD. Okay, right? Again, if you have to impart education, so it will be by education ministry now. So these are the part of executive technically. Okay, so executive, since executive is main expending agency, that's why executive require money. And money is in the Consolidated Fund of India. Major limitation is executive cannot withdraw even a single pice without appropriate legislative sanction. So if executive require money, it will have to approach legislature, and if legislature will get satisfied that the demand is true, then only it will give approval in the form of passing of Appropriation Act. Okay. Suppose as per Appropriation Act allowed the executive to withdraw 10 crore of rupees. Then executive can withdraw only 10 crore, not more than this. It is clear na? Otherwise it will be unconstitutional or illegal. Getting well now? So actually this is the major limitation now. Now see, appropriation, as far as the question, this is consolidated fund, but you cannot withdraw money out of consolidated fund of India without appropriate legislative sanction. Suppose there is any contingent phenomena, okay, which required money to provide relief to the sufferer. It is clear na? And if the parliament is not in session, because any act is passed only when it is passed by both houses of the parliament and get concurrence of the President of India, is a long-term process, okay. That's why Constitution framer developed a provision of contingency fund of India, right? Actually, some money are credited from contingency, are transferred from contingency fund of India, consolidated fund of India, into contingency fund of India, okay. To withdraw money out of contingency fund of India, no prior legislative sanction is required. The money can be expended directly by the executive order, by the presidential order. Na? It is clear na? And later when House sit again, particularly consolidated fund of India, money is diverted in this to particularly to fill this gap. It is clear na? So objective of contingency fund of India is to meet the contingent phenomena like flood, like any type of disaster, whether man-made as well as particularly nature-induced. Okay, right? Though there are provision of National Calamity Contingency Fund, right? National Disaster Response Fund, etc. It is clear now. So these are the particularly these funds are created through legislative process. Okay. So they are a statutory fund, to be noted. If any fund is created through legislative act, then it is referred to as a statutory fund. But our constitution contains the provision of this fund. Na? So this is constitutional. These are constitutional fund. Contingency fund of India is constitutional fund. Consolidated fund of India is constitutional fund, and public account fund of India is the constitutional fund. Okay. Actually, public account fund contain money of you can say provident fund. Money will be deposited here, right? Saving deposit of the bank can be particularly credited directly in the public account fund. It is clear now, right? So major fund is consolidated fund of India. Okay. Second is contingency fund. Third one is public account fund. Getting well now? Now see, actually to withdraw money out of consolidated fund of India, you see budget is important component to exercise legislative control over public finance. Okay. And the constitutional name of budget is annual financial statement given under Article 112 of the Constitution. It is clear na? The term budget is not given in the Constitution. It is clear. Previously you see the budget was containing a detail about planned and non-planned expenditure also na. Okay. But since 2017 and 17, actually this differentiation was ended, right? Because of the dissolution of Planning Commission. Getting well now? Actually, Rangarajan Committee had also recommended for particularly for nullifying the difference between planned expenditure and non-planned expenditure. This type of particularly demand was raised in 1999 by the then Finance Minister of India. It is clear now? Actually, see, what is budget? So budget is a financial document. Budget is the financial document, which contains the detail of total income and total expenditure of the government during one financial year. It is clear now? Budget is the detail of total income and total expenditure of the government during one financial year. Getting well now? Okay. Now see, as far as the question of financial year is concerned, most of the Anglo-Saxon countries consider 1st April to 31st March as financial year. Anglo-Saxon countries. I use the term Anglo-Saxon countries. Okay. So actually those countries which were the colony of British Empire are broadly referred to as Anglo-Saxon countries, and they adopted this process. They adopted 1st April to 31st March as their financial year. Getting well now? Right? So actually budget formulation is conducted for this financial year now. Okay? For this financial year, suppose you have to formulate the budget for the financial year of 2005 to 2006. Okay? This is the financial year for which the legislature is formulating the budget. Okay? So actually you see there are certain well-defined principles governing budget. Budgetary process can start only after getting the presidential order. Getting well now? This is the first principle, and second aspect is the budget is the subject to the principle of double assent, because you see, because it required to take two-time permission by the President of India. So actually, because budgetary process will start after getting the presidential order, and when budget is passed by both houses of the parliament, it finally gets the signature of the President of India. So this, it means particularly it required to take permission twice. Na? This is referred to as principle of double assent. Okay. Again you see the principle of lapse apply in budget. What is the meaning of this? Suppose for this financial year 2005 to 2006, okay, right, the total allocation is suppose 100 crore rupees is the total allocation made for this financial year in budget to document now. Okay, so anyhow this money should be expended during this financial year. If executive is not capable to incur expenditure and utilize all the 100 crore, executive utilize only 80 crore of money and 20 crore is left, right? Even at the last day of 2006, that is 31st March 2006, at 12 noon, okay? So then this 20 crore of rupees will return back in consolidated fund of India, right? Actually in next financial year this money cannot be utilized. So this is referred to as principle of lapse. Getting well now? Principle of lapse. Getting well? Now see, as far as the question of budget formulation is concerned, so there are several stages of budget formulation. Okay? First is formulation of budget. Formulation of budget. This is the first step. Okay? Formulation of budget. Second is introduction of budget. Introduction of budget, which is also known as enactment of budget. Enactment of budget. Okay? Enactment of budget. Getting well? Third step is vote for grant. Grant is the third stage. Okay? Fourth stage is passing of Appropriation Act. Passing of Appropriation Act. Appropriation Act. Fifth stage is passing of Finance Act or Taxation Act. And sixth stage is implementation of budget. Getting well now? It means the entire budgetary process is completed in 6 stages now. This stage is a step wise. Okay, actually 4 cannot happen prior to 3rd, 5th cannot happen prior to 4th. It is clear na? These are the stages, 1 to 1, step wise. The first step is formulation of budget. Second stage is introduction of budget, which is also referred to as enactment of budget. It is clear na? Third is vote for grant. Fourth is passing of Appropriation Act. Next is passing of Finance Act or Taxation Act. And sixth one is implementation of budget. Okay? So actually these are the different stages of budget. Now see what is the meaning of formulation of budget. Okay? As far as the question of formulation of budget is concerned, it is executive responsibility. Okay? Getting well now? It is the executive responsibility. You know who is the executive head of the country? It is the President of India. President of India is the executive head of the country, and hence he is responsible for the formulation of budget. So you see, the Ministry of Economic Affairs, which is a part of Ministry of Finance, formulate budget on behalf of the President of India, or you can say that Finance Minister of India on behalf of the President of India formulate the budget for one financial year. Getting well now? And Ministry of Economic Affairs is Department of Economic Affairs is the part of Ministry of Finance now. It formulates the budget. It is clear now? So actually you see, when normally budget formulation start during the month of October. Okay? During the month of October, because you see principle of lapse is valid there, right? Anyhow, budget should be prepared prior to 1st of April. Otherwise, the country will suffer from financial crisis, because the executive will not have any pies, single pies, right, to implement, to govern the country. It is clear now? To maintain law and order, and to implement developmental activity, etc. It is clear now? So that's why anyhow budgets must be formulated prior to 1st April of this financial year. It is clear na? That's why normally the budget formulation start during the month of October. Okay? Actually it means, you see, if we have to formulate the budget of 2000 to 2001, this is the financial year. Okay? So anyhow this 1st April is the start of this financial year now. Okay, to during actually budget for this financial year, preparation of the budget for this financial year will start during the month of October of this financial year. Getting well now? Getting well? What is the process? So that anyhow the budget should be particularly prepared prior to that of 1st of April. Otherwise the country will face financial crisis. Getting well now? You see, the President of India first issue notification, okay, gives order to the Finance Minister. Finance Minister through Department of Economic Affairs, okay, start formulation of budget. Getting well now? So Finance Minister give direction to different department and ministry to prepare detail of total income and expenditure of their respective department of one financial year, of the incoming financial year. Na? It is clear? The President first gives order to the Finance Minister, then Finance Minister direct every ministry and department to prepare the detailed account of total income and expenditure of the coming financial year. Getting well now? And in the format, right, prepared by CAGI, that is Comptroller and Auditor General of India. First CAGI prepared the format and it is approved by Estimate Committee. Okay, in which format the budget is prepared, it is clear now? But the format in which budget is prepared by CAGI, okay, and approved by Estimate Committee. It is clear now? Right, Estimate Committee. Getting well? So actually this is the way. Again you see, every department, suppose this is education department, this is health department, right, this is social development, industry, different department, right, start preparing the detail of total income and expenditure of one financial year, and then after they submit this document to the finance ministry, they submit this document to the finance minister. Getting well now? Right, submit this document to the finance minister. It is clear? Then finance minister है ना conduct dovetailing of all these document. Okay, what is the meaning of dovetailing? The meaning of dovetailing is compilation of this document in the form of the book. It is clear na? This process is referred to as dovetailing. Dovetailing is conducted by finance ministry. Okay, actually you see president given order to finance minister. Finance minister directed every ministry and department to prepare the list of total income and expenditure of the one financial year. Okay, in the format prepared by CAGI and approved by estimate committee. Estimate committee is a standing committee of a standing economic committee of the parliament. Getting well now? There are three standing economic committee of the parliament: PAC, Public Account Committee, Estimate Committee, and Committee on Public Undertaking. Getting well now? Okay. Besides this, there are several other particular departmental related committee and Economic Affairs Committee. Okay. So actually, you see the format for formulation of budget is prepared by CAGI. Okay, and approved by Estimate Committee. Getting well now? So when different departments submit their account to the finance ministry conduct dovetailing, that is compilation of this document in the form of book. Okay, then finance minister refer this book to different economic expert, different university and economic institution to get their view, and after getting the view, recompilation and reprinting of the budget is conducted. Getting well? What is the process? It is clear now? Actually, then what is the objective? Why particularly finance minister refer this budget to document to different economic expert, institution and university to get their expert opinion? It is clear? In the interest of the people. Okay, because you see, legislative control over public finance is mainly intended to ensure development and better utilization of money for public welfare. Getting well now? So that's why there is a convention to take advice of economic institution, university and economic experts. Okay. Now see, then particularly you see the finance minister, okay, put this budgetary document before the cabinet, and after to get particularly approval of the cabinet. Okay, when cabinet gives approval to this particularly format, then the work of formulation of budget gets completed. Getting well? What is the meaning of, what are the stages of formulation of budget? It is clear now? Again repeating the fact, you say formulation of budget start with the presidential notification. Through this notification, the president issued order to the finance minister to prepare the detail of total income and expenditure of different ministry and department. Okay, the finance minister, after getting this direction, direct every ministry and department to prepare detail of total income and expenditure during the coming financial year. It is clear now? Actually, these accounts are prepared in the light, you see, while preparing the budget of this year. Suppose we are preparing the budget for 2000 to 2001. Okay, 2001. Okay, so in this case, budget formulation start in the previous financial year. Na? It means particularly 2000, actually 1999 to 2000 budget formulation started for this financial year. Actually, for this financial year, we are preparing budget. Okay, so the work for the preparation of budget start during this financial year, during the month of December. It means this current financial year is not finished now. It is running now, right? And you see, while formulating the budget, right, the final conclusion of 1998 to 1999 budget is also budgetary year or financial year is also taken into consideration. It means particularly while formulating the budget of the future year, we consider the current financial year as well as particularly past financial year. It is clear na? When 3 financial years are taken into consideration technically. Okay. Now see, what is the meaning of formulation of budget? Got it now? Why is this work? Actually, you see, President is the executive head, Finance Minister is the executive head, and also particularly different ministries are the executive now. Council of Ministers are the part of executive. Getting well now? Right? Ministers are the part of executive, whether Finance Minister, whether particular Education Minister, it is clear now? So that's why it is said that formulation of budget is the executive responsibility. Okay? And why executive is given this responsibility? Because executive is the main expending agency, and main expending agency will know how much money is required for the implementation of the program. It is clear now? Actually, executive is aware of the fact that how much money will come from taxation and non-tax revenue. Clear now? So this entire process is referred to as formulation of budget. Okay? Now you see second stage. This is first stage now. Second stage is introduction of budget, which is also referred to as enactment. Actually, you see the process of what is the process of enactment. Suppose formulation of budget was finished. Okay, then actually a draft of the budget was prepared and approved by the cabinet. Now Finance Minister on behalf of the President of India put the budgetary document at the floor of the house. Okay, this process is referred to as enactment or introduction of budget. It is clear now? But actually, what is the objective of this stage? Objective of this stage is to make aware, right, to the member of the parliament about the content of the budget. Okay, general discussion of 3 to 4 days happen, right, during this process, and then the house is adjourned for certain week, for 4 to 5 week or 6 week particularly, it is adjourned. Okay. And then particularly you see the budgetary document is referred for scrutiny to Department Standing Committee. It is clear na? Right? Analyze the Department Scrutiny Committee of the Department Standing Committee scrutinize the particularly budgetary proposal na? Then you see after that vote for grant start. Okay? So actually you see when railway budget and general budget were separate. General budget was containing 109 items. Getting well now? 109 items. Out of 109, general budget was containing 109 items, out of which 6 were associated with defense expenditure and 103 was associated with civil expenditure. It is clear now? In totality, 109 items were included in general budget. Okay, and in railway budget 32 to 33 particularly items were included. Okay, when it was clocked, certainly particularly you see the added number will be with the total number of items held in the annual financial statement or budgetary document. Getting well now? Now see, vote for grant is very essential. Actually, in introduction of in this stage, you see general discussion is allowed, no amendment is allowed. Okay, no amendment is allowed, and as far as the question of no confidence motion is concerned, okay, so in every Anglo-Saxon country, budget is considered sacrosanct. Okay. And no confidence motion is not allowed against budgetary document. Getting well now? Because if no confidence motion is passed, government falls, and hence the country will face financial crisis. Getting well now? So that's why particularly you see there is no provision to bring no confidence motion against the budgetary document, right? Though grievance in the form of cut motion can be introduced. Okay, it is symbolic in the form of policy cut, economic cut, token cut. It is clear na? but no confidence motion is not allowed against the budgetary document. Getting well now? Okay. So as far as the question of vote for grant is concerned, normally a speaker allot 26 days period, 26 days period for vote for grant. Vote for grant. Getting well now? Vote for grant. Okay. How much period is allotted by the speaker? It is 26 days. Right. This is based on the British Parliamentary Convention. Right. Because we borrowed the parliamentary from the government from Britain. Na? So that's why we adopted this from Britain. It is clear now. Actually, during this 26 days, detailed discussion plus voting is conducted on all items of the budget, on all items of budget. Okay, getting well now? On detailed discussion and voting is conducted on all items of budget, but on charged expenditure, discussion and voting is not allowed. Voting is not allowed. Okay, what is the meaning of charged expenditure? There are certain organization or institution, they are like particularly you see President, okay, Election Commission of India, right, judges of the Supreme Court and High Court, member and chairman of UPSC, right, the salary and allowance and other expenditure of their office comes under charged expenditure, and this is not given vote in the parliament. Getting well now? So actually budget also include this provision, that is provision of the charged expenditure. Getting well now? Actually during this period, during 26 days, detailed discussion on every item is conducted, and if members are satisfied, then they give vote to every demand. Actually every demand. Getting well now? Suppose total number of items, suppose as per previous form 109 items, and all 109 items required to particularly to discuss detail and should be voted out, then only expenditure for every item will be met in the next coming financial year for which the budget is being formulated now. Okay, so suppose if out of 109 items, right, due to paucity of time, only over 70 items detailed discussion held and voting was conducted. Okay, right, remaining are 39 items, and this is left on only one day, 26th day, means last day is left now. Okay, then all the 39 items are collectively voted out. It is referred to guillotine. What is the meaning of guillotine? It is clear now? Actually you see the nature of charged expenditure and guillotine is quite different, right? It is not permissible by the constitution to give voting on the charged expenditure. It is clear now? Okay, right? This is to maintain independence and autonomy of the constitutional institution now. But actually guillotine is due to the paucity of time. It is clear now? So what is, and during vote for grant, threadbare discussion is allowed, right? Every topics, every item is discussed in detail now. Okay, right? So this is vote for grant. You see, in vote for grant process, voting is conducted only in the Lok Sabha but not in Rajya Sabha. It is clear na? Actually you see a speaker brand this document, okay, hai na? Actually vote for grant is the general process, right? Detailed discussion, right, on every budgetary document, and you see what happened. Then after, the next stage is passing of Appropriation Act. What is Appropriation Act? It is clear na? Appropriation Act is the expenditure part of the budget. It is the expenditure part of budget na. Okay, Appropriation Act is the act through which the legislature authorizes the executive to withdraw money out of consolidated fund of India. Getting well now? Right? Suppose Appropriation Act, under Appropriation Act is passed for any financial year, and total allocation of 100 crore was made. This is the total allocation of fund under Appropriation Act now. So it means if 100 crore was allotted under Appropriation Act, it means executive is capable to withdraw 100 crore out of Consolidated Fund of India, right? Executive cannot withdraw 101 crore, na? Right? Only 100 crores is allowed by the legislature to the executive to utilize money out of Consolidated Fund of India, because Parliament is the patron of the Consolidated Fund of India. Okay? Now see, actually, suppose the total allotment is 100 crore. So the Appropriation Act also contains detail how this money will be utilized. Suppose for education department there is a provision of 20 crore. Right, I am giving just certain example to understand the fact. Right, health department, right, for there is allocation of 30 crore. Okay, suppose for industry there is allocation of 30 crore, and for other department X 20 crore allocation was made. Okay, again you see the 20 crore allocation which was made for economy for education. Again, Appropriation Act contains the provision that out of this 10 crore will be for payment of salary and allowances of the staff. Okay, suppose particularly 5 crore will be utilized for construction of a school building. Okay, 4 crore for student welfare and 1 crore for miscellaneous activity. Now, right? It contains detail of this aspect. Now, right? Actually, you see, it means legislature allowed executive, that is education department, to utilize 20 crore of rupees during one financial year, but at the same time it given the principle how particularly this money will be utilized. Okay, the Appropriation Act contains the detail of the mode of expenditure. It is clear now? Actually, you see, if this money will be utilized for this purpose, then it will be amounted to diversion of fund and it will be illegal and unconstitutional. Getting well now? Okay. So what is the nature of the Appropriation Act? It is clear now? Okay. Again, see, after passing the Appropriation Act, which is the expenditure part, right, provision is made for income component now. Right. So you know that for income component, Finance Act or Taxation Act is passed, and any Taxation Act or Finance Act and Finance Bill should be passed within 75 days. Otherwise, it will fall. Okay, this is the conditionality. Okay, so when Appropriation Act is passed, you see, when Appropriation Act is passed by Lok Sabha, okay, a speaker brand this act, this bill as the money bill. That is clear, na? And send it to the Raj Sabha. Raj Sabha has no option other than to give his assent within 14 days, right? Otherwise, it will deem to be passed. It is clear, na? No amendment is allowed in particular Appropriation Act, to be noted. Getting well, na? Then after Taxation Act, Finance Act is passed. Okay, in Finance Act, though amendment is allowed, right? But an amendment cannot impose new tax. It can nullify particularly existing tax. Amendment should be for nullifying or reducing the existing tax. It is clear now, right? So this is referred to as Taxation Act. Getting well now, right? So with the passage of this stage, then budget is considered to be prepared now, right? So it is clear that formulation of budget is executive responsibility. Introduction is also executive responsibility, because Finance Minister introduces this budgetary document at the floor of the House on behalf of the President, okay, as the executive official, to be noted. Okay, this is legislative responsibility. This is legislative responsibility. This is legislative responsibility. Okay, and again the implementation of budget is executive responsibility. Getting well now? Right? Actually, different department, suppose 100 crore is allotted to the Finance Minister, then Finance Minister allocate this fund to the different ministries in the form of 4 to 5 installment in order to maintain economy, in order to hold control over expenditure. Right? Actually, Finance Ministry also conducts supervision periodically. It is clear na? Survey and particularly this type of work is conducted so as to maintain accountability and economy in the expenditure. Getting well now? Okay. Now see, implementation of the budget is conducted, right? Actually, suppose particularly for health program is implemented, right? New industries are set up, roads are constructed, utilizing the money out of consolidated fund of India, right? Up to the level which is permissible, है ना? Under appropriation act passed by the parliament or legislature. Getting well now? Actually, you see, then after the end of the financial year, what happened? After the end of the financial year, you see, there is a constitutional institution in the known as CAGI, Comptroller and Auditor General of India. It is clear na? Right? Comptroller and Auditor General of India. The provision of CAGI is given under Article 148 to 151 of the Constitution. Getting well now? Article 148 to 151 of the Constitution contain provision about CAGI. Though the post of CAGI is based on the British pattern, but there is a markable difference. Markable difference is in Britain, prior to